Welcome to Lunch with Sandra. I have a great little message here from my Meditate on the Go journal. It is February, so excited about February because February is the month of love, and we're going to be addressing some really tough subjects this month. And the first one we're going to address this week is self-love. So let me adjust my camera so that I'm not so close with one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's get grounded, everybody. Get your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Get you in your own column of light. Unplug from people. Anybody that's been bugging you or that perhaps you're bugging them. So unplug from everybody. This course is about relationships. So today's lesson, we want to unplug from everybody and get in our own column of lights. When you put your fingertips together and your tongue on the roof of your mouth, it helps get you grounded in the present moment. So today's oil is bergamot, and bergamot has to do with self-love. So that is our topic today, and just by smelling it, I'm gonna get some aromatherapy going for you guys as well, washing you all in bergamot. And I have my Good Morning Gorgeous mug, although it's backwards. And if you look, my dear sister-in-law gave this mug to me. It says, Good Morning Gorgeous. And on this side, they misspelled gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And I love this mug because it celebrates to me. This is how I do meditate on the go. When I drink from this mug, it reminds me to embrace all the inadequacies. It embraces to embrace all of your mistakes, all of your issues, all of your perceived weaknesses. So whatever you feel is flawed in your life, which is my mug is flawed, then embrace it because it's here to teach you valuable lessons about yourself. So the other day, this month, I'm posting a lot of love quotes and a lot of love notes. And I posted one about self-love. And that self-love, I posted 5 tips to self-love. So we're gonna hit those today, keep us on time. And why is it so important that we have self-love? I mean, the obvious reasons are be kinder to yourself and enjoy life more, right? But if you fly a lot, then you recall that the airline attendants will tell you to put the oxygen mask on your face first before you try to help your child. Why is this necessary? Because you're gonna pass out before you can even get the oxygen mask on your child because of lack of oxygen. So what do we need to remember? We must supply ourselves with oxygen and love first before we can help anyone else with it. So that's why this first Monday in February, we're doing self-love. The rest of the weeks, we're gonna talk about your difficult relationships, your intimate, your passion, your romantic relationships, your difficult sibling relationships and family relationships. So throw all of your questions at me, and any questions that you have today, make note of them and put them at just post them at the end of our video and I'll address your questions, or you can post a question now and I'll address it at the end of the video. Okay, so step number 1, know thyself. And you're gonna hear me say this over and over and over again. We live so unaware on the planet, unaware of our thoughts, unaware of our feelings, and we allow life to live us, okay? We allow all of the hardships, the struggles to really affect us, and it causes us to live a life where we're constantly on the run, putting out fires, trying to deal with all of the painful things going on in life. That's letting life live you. When you know yourself, then you don't then you can be completely aware of what are your thoughts and what are your feelings. Those are so important to know. Know yourself and know your self-talk. Your self-talk is automatic. It goes, it's going on all the time. You have this negative, it's a drunk monkey, let's get real. He's a little monkey that sits on your shoulder. And with some of my clients, it's very, very, very loud. And I've had many a drunk monkeys on my shoulders. So first of all, acknowledge the drunk monkey on your shoulder. Why is it drunk? Why is it a monkey? Monkeys tend to chatter. Why is he drunk? Why do we call him drunk? Have you ever sat by somebody in a bar or even your friend and they've had a bit much to drink and they don't stop? They don't stop divulging information. I've been around many of people and probably myself, but at some point you go, shh, I don't care to know that you went to the bathroom this morning and at what time. I don't care to know those details. A drunk monkey just chatters away on your shoulder and he incessantly gives you information about you and your life that is not helpful. So notice the drunk monkey on your shoulder. That's the first step to self-love. You've got to be aware that that monkey's there. You've got to be aware of what he is saying. So in your Meditate on the Go journals, which all my clients should have, and if you don't, make sure that you get one, there is a section in the journal called My Deceptive Identity Drunk Monkey Thoughts. There's a whole section designated to your drunk monkey thoughts. Now, why is it important? See, we have this much space for those drunk monkey thoughts. Why is it important to write down your drunk monkey thoughts? Awareness, awareness, awareness. It helps you be aware when your drunk monkey is very loud. So writing them down is very, very helpful. When you're in a really bad space, and if you recall in our work, we use the emotional scale. If you don't have the emotional scale, message me, I'll send you a copy from 0 to 10. 5 is neutral, 0, I want to die, 10 is the best you've ever felt. Be aware where you're at on your emotional scale because your thoughts go way too fast. Your drunk monkey is way too fast to try to detect it all at once. First, be aware of how you're feeling on that scale. Then, if you're in the lower 5 numbers, you're going to go write down what the drunk monkey is saying to you. And you're going to find in your drunk monkey thoughts on your page that most of your thoughts, well, all of your thoughts are repetitive thoughts. They've been going on your entire life. Sit with that for just a moment. How old are you right now? In this moment, how many years has your drunk monkey been chattering away to you and you've been unconscious of it? Well, all you have to do is look at what's out here reflecting to you. If life is hard for you, then your drunk monkey tells you that life is hard. If you feel like a loser or judged in front of other people, that's your drunk monkey telling you that you're a loser. Be aware of what those negative thoughts are. And then don't beat yourself up for having the negative thoughts. Don't beat yourself up for having the drunk monkey. Just be aware that he's there and write out those drunk monkey thoughts. Okay, so why is it important to be aware of our drunk monkey thoughts? Well, it's difficult to change something that you are not aware of. So, in our first step, know thyself, be aware of your feelings, be aware of the thoughts that are driving the feelings. This is called mindfulness also. And then transform, turn your thoughts around. What kinds of things do you say to your best friend? You know, your chum, your favorite bestie that you admire and respect and you love her or love him. What are some of the qualities that you love about that person? There is a section to actually write that down in your journal also, so you can transform that negative self-talk into positive talk. So there's a section in the front of your journal that's your deceptive identity. And then program limiting beliefs right here. Writing down some of those core beliefs that get you stuck. And then on the opposite of the page, declarations of my truth. What you see in another person is also present in yourself, the negative and the positive. So if your bestie is beautiful, there are aspects of yourself that you see as beautiful too. Write those down, the declarations of my truth, because it's important that when you're in that drunk monkey state, that you can question those beliefs, that you can question those thoughts and say, is that true about me? Is it true that I am a loser? Well, maybe sometimes you act like a loser, but there's plenty of times that you can find where you have really been in a good place, where you've been serving other people, where you have been loving yourself and loving others as a result. So be aware of that negative self-talk so that you can question it. Is it true? And here's a hint I'm going to tell you. This is called the message of love. The message of love is so important for you to understand. And again, I wrote about the message of love in your journal. So make sure you could go back and read that. The message of love states that I came to experience duality and opposition. Who you are is love. And I know this is difficult for a lot of people to even comprehend this. But who you are is intrinsically love. You can't be separated from that love. It is impossible to be separated from that which you already are. Now, we came to the planet in a third dimension with bodies so that we could experience that which we are not. We came to experience the opposite of love, which would be separation, anxiety, struggle, strife. So if you're experiencing those things, I honor you. Congratulations. Congratulations, guys. You're right on task. You're right on task for experiencing duality and opposition and contrast, which we all came to the planet to experience. The only way you'll ever really discover the truth of who you are is through duality and opposition. How would you know hot without cold? Here without there, up without down, ugly without beautiful, beautiful without ugly? How are you going to know opposition, contrast, duality without experiencing it? Thus, you came to the planet to experience opposition and duality and perceive struggle. Why? Why would we do that? Why? I get this question all the time. Why would I choose to come and experience struggle? Well, can you imagine being in a state of joy and love all the time? Honestly, it kind of gets a little boring because your emotional state is all this high vibration and love going on. It's like, I want to go experience some pain and struggle to just have that experience. I want to go taste salt. You know, if I say to you, Larry, explain to me what salt is. What are you going to say? It's salty. It's pretty hard to describe salt. It enhances flavor, but too much of it is really horrible. Well, that's like explaining to somebody in our pre-earth existence where we're all love what struggle and pain is. If there's no comprehension of it, we get to come to the planet to experience it ourselves. Why? Because we want to. Because we want the experience. Because we want to know duality and opposition. The message of love says, I come to experience the opposition so I can come back to the truth of who I am, which is love. Okay, so the message of love is very, very important to understand. When you're in duality and pain, there's a purpose for it. Instead of asking, why me? Why am I experiencing this pain? Ask, what can I learn from this? What did I choose to experience or learn from what I'm going through right now? And remember, everything that you're learning is to bring you back to who you truly are, which is love. So, talk to yourself like you are your own best friend. Write out those words so that when you're in a bad space, you can go back and read them. When you're feeling good, write down those good things that you're feeling so you can go back and read them when you're not feeling so well. All right, focus on what you want is number 2. In my 5 steps to loving yourself, which I posted on Facebook and my Instagram account, you'll see that I did 5 steps to love. And number 2 is to focus on what you want. Why is this important? When you focus on what you want, you get more of what you want. And I know that you all understand the laws of attraction, or a little bit you understand. It's hard to comprehend and wrap our brain around them. But when I see energy, this is what I see. When someone is a naysayer, when they see that the cup is half full, and you know who you are, we all have been naysayers and felt like naysayers. When you're in that bad space, your energy looks like you have a pigpen cloud around you. And that pigpen cloud is stopping good things from coming into you, which is why when you focus on what you want, you help release that pigpen cloud. And then the laws of attraction can work for your benefit rather than against you. Clean up your pigpen cloud by knowing what you want. Focusing on what you want. And again, your Meditate on the Go journal is really great in helping you do this because you have a don't want list and a do want list. Focus on what you want. When you notice that your emotional scale is going down, go back into focusing on what you want and noticing a time in your life where you thought about what you want and you received what you want. And it could be something so small. Celebrate your wins. There's another place in your journal, win page, to write down your wins so that when you're in a bad place, you can remember them. So this is a sweet story. This week, my 4-year-old granddaughter was in a very upsetting place. And I was on the phone with her and I said to her, sweetheart, can you remember, because she was telling me all about her bad day and why it was a bad day. She was on her way to school and she wasn't sure she wanted to go to school because the other kids are gonna be mean to her. And she had multiple reasons to be in a very bad place. And I said to her, can you remember some of your most favorite times that we've had together? And we've done multiple activities that are super fun. And I said, I can think of several, but can you think of some? And she started rattling off going to Jungle Gyms or Lagoon, or even just a girls' outing to go get ice cream or go on a visit or a road trip. And she started talking, and the more she started talking, the more memories started coming to her. And that's how the human mind works. When you focus on something good, you go to a place where you can start remembering good things easier. When you go to a bad place, and I call this the rabbit hole, because sometimes you can't get yourself out. It's like going, I use the analogy, it's like going into a neighborhood that has no lights on, and they're all dead-end streets. And you keep turning down one neighborhood or one street to get out of the neighborhood, and you can't get out of the neighborhood. Why? Because you're in a dark place already. Because it's dark, you can't see, and you keep hitting dead ends. Be aware when you start going down that rabbit hole, it's much, much harder to come out of that rabbit hole and have self-love the deeper you go. The longer you're in that dark neighborhood, the harder it is to get out. Make sure you have friends, your life coach. Contact me. I've got several light workers that can help you get out of your dark space. Don't go there that far. When you go that deep, it takes you longer to get out. So capture those thoughts, capture those feelings before you're lost in that dark neighborhood. And when I was saying this to Ellie, and she started telling me all of the great things that she and I had done together and these memories that came to her, it started to lift her spirits. The more she talked about her favorite memories, the happier she got. And then all of a sudden going to school wasn't so bad. And she was able to bring herself out of it. And it's the same thing works for us as adults. When you start focusing on your wins, on gratitude, on the things that are gifts and blessings in your life, it pulls you out of that dark space and you're able to experience more self-love. Okay, so when you're meditating on the go, and I talked about that in the last video, every time, I'm going to give you guys a challenge, every time that you pass a mirror, look in the mirror and look at your eyes. Look in your eyes and say, I love you. I love you. Now, if that's hard for you, simply say, I'm learning to love you. I'm focusing on your great qualities and I'm learning to love you. And as I do that, I have more capacity to love others. So everybody, put your hand on your heart. We're going to do a little exercise. Rub with me. I forgive myself for thinking, feeling, and believing that I wasn't good enough. We all have that one. Okay, now breathe it. Feel that. Forgive yourself for beating up on yourself. Let's do it again. I forgive myself for thinking, feeling, and believing that I was inadequate. Take a breath, release it. And I forgive myself for beating up on myself. I know there's some really great qualities about me, and I can learn to find them. Okay, so change your self-talk. Look in the mirror when you go to the bathroom. Look in the mirror every chance you get. Make eye contact with yourself. Look deep into your soul and say, I love you, or I'm learning to love you. Focus on what you want. It keeps your frequency high. Ask for what you need in life. I can't tell you, and I can't tell you how many times this is an issue with my clients, and I've noticed with myself. You start having resentment towards someone because they're not supplying you with something that you need. And so you start blaming them, the blame game, and start mentally attacking this other person. You know, you don't really live with the person that you're mad at. You live with the person in your head, whether that is your partner, your spouse, your children, your siblings, whoever it is. You've got a story in your head about that person, and it isn't all accurate. We're going to get into that in our next video on intimate relationships and how to have more love there next Monday. So ask for what you need. This tends to be a problem I notice with women more than men. I notice that women tend to hold a bit more resentment, and I don't know why, women over men, but learn in the moment, like, I really need this garbage taken out. And you can simply say, hey, honey, can you take out the garbage? Or, you know, I had one lady tell me, I keep putting it in the middle of the floor, and if he really cared about me, he'd take it out. I said, can you just ask for what you need? Ask him to take out the garbage. Get in the habit of asking for what you need. It doesn't mean you're going to always get what you need, but it allows your throat chakra to open. Right now, I need a hug. Right now, I just need to talk without you interrupting. Right now, I need to vent. And if you could allow me 10 minutes of venting, you don't want to vent too much because it puts you in a dark place, but a few minutes of venting, then that's good. So ask for what you need. Step number 4, stop giving when it's hurting you. This is called codependency and enabling poor behavior. When you notice that you're giving to the point that it's hurting you, then you're over giving. That is not self-love, people. That is, I need to be needed, so I need what you want me to be, so therefore I'm going to be everything you need me to be, and I'm going to give myself, too much of myself. That hurts your energy field. And when I see people's energy field, what it looks like is so everybody has this aura around them and a frequency, and it looks like a leak of more energy going out than coming in. When you're out of balance of giving and receiving, your energy field will look weak in that area. And it could be your heart, if you're giving more love than you're receiving. It could be your solar plexus, if you're giving away your power and the ability to say no. Set boundaries for yourself. If someone wants you to do something and you don't want to do it, really look at why you don't want to do it, first of all. If it's because of your pattern, or you're embarrassed, or if it's based out of fear of not being good enough, then get over that reason. Afraid of going into crowds, afraid of being with people and connecting, get over that. But if it's really something, I'm tired, I'm not feeling well, no, not tonight. I need to honor myself. I really need a bath tonight. I need a salt bath. I need to do my own self-care. And be okay when you say no. Which leads us into the fifth one, is become like the duck. In my children's book, there is a duck, and he represents Nanya. He represents, I'm going to follow up with that, letting the water roll off his back, not getting easily offended. When people trigger you and set you off, take a deep breath and let it out before you respond, before you defend, before you react. Let it roll off your back. What are the Nanyas? It's none your business. So what other people think of you is none of your business. You can remember the Nanyas. Use them often. This is none of my business. This is none of your business. When you are in an upset and somebody is attacking you, you don't need to sit and buy into that. First of all, don't allow anyone to yell at you or to berate you or to name call. And we're going to get into that next week. But these are things that you don't do to others, and don't allow yourself. You say, no, I'm not going to listen to this until you change your tone of voice. And you walk away. You have to learn to set healthy boundaries. And when other people are gossiping about you, it is none of your business. It is not your business to gossip about them. It is not your business to buy into what they're saying. It is your business to look in the mirror and say, where can I improve? And you make that list and you work on that yourself. Okay, so number one, transform your self-talk into messages that you would say to your best friend. Number two, focus on what you want. It increases your frequency, your vibration, and life gets better for you. It makes it a lot easier to love your life and love yourself. Ask for your needs. What is it you need right now? Stop giving when it's hurting you or other people, enabling other people. Learn to be the duck. Let things roll off your back. Quit taking them so personal. When somebody's attacking you, that's a reflection of themselves. Take a deep breath and unplug from that energy. So how do you know when you have been loving yourself? You know that forgiveness technique that we did? When you can feel a softening in your heart towards yourself, when you can feel compassion, like I really like myself. Enroll in my class, which will be online soon, confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. And if you haven't watched that video on YouTube, go do so. Message me, I'll send you the link to it. There is a difference between confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. And it's a great exercise to be doing with yourself. Practice loving yourself genuinely. Not egoic love, not the kind of love that says, I need to be better than someone else. The kind of love that says, I'm humbled to be me. I'm humbled because I am part of Source, part of God, part of love. And the only way, ultimately, that you're going to get back to that place is by learning to quiet the drunk monkey that sits on the shoulder and tells you you're not. You've got to get in a quiet space and feel that love transcend you. 5 minutes each day, people. 5 minutes of gratitude, 5 minutes of surrender will get you back into a place of self-love. Send me your messages. I'm happy to answer your questions in these videos. And we will see you guys next week when we're going to talk about your intimate, sticky, painful relationships. In the meantime, go love yourself, forgive yourself, hand on your heart, make eye contact. I love you all.